Well guys, here we are, part 4 of the garage renovation series. Of course, we're still in the shop renovation part of the video. Well, as you can see, we got ourselves some snow. So she's kind of wet and a little bit on the chillier side out here, but you know, with wet wood you have to keep on rolling, I guess, even if it's snowing. Well, as you guys can probably hear, we got the heater fired up in here. Gonna get underway in the garage. What I'm hoping to do today is to get the roof rafters run. I'm probably gonna run a couple in here. I'll probably put one, you know, somewhere in this range right there. And you know, there is one here, but she is a 2x4, so I was thinking of beefing that up. And I might, in fact, throw another one right here, right at the edge of our wall. Plus, that'll lock the wall in too, right? And if the day goes well, I'd like to get this window dealt with. There was a window there at one time, and the glass got broke in it, and I never replaced the glass because I figured, well, the more windows you have in your garage, the more chance of someone breaking them or breaking in, right? So I just blanked it out. I did find one on the old Kijiji, however, the person never would message me back about it, and so whatever, say. So what we're probably going to do is reframe it in. I used 2x6s because it was all I had at the time. I'd like to reframe it in with 2x4s, and then you know, we can put a vapor barrier and insulation over top of it and proper sheeting, and pretty much make it one with the wall, if you will. If all in all goes well, everything else goes well with the plans that I want to do and all that, we could maybe possibly throw a little bit of sheeting up on these walls and maybe start with the securing down of this big wall here, if that goes all well today. But guys, we got the noisy old heater there going away, and pretty much you're going to throw some measurements on our rafters here, see what we need for the width and the angle wise, and we're going to get at her. Well guys, I've done a little bit of more demo. As you see, the what do you want to call it, cross braces and the bottom back wall top roof stringer, or whatever you want to call it, has been removed. As well as, upon further inspection, I've come to the conclusion, in order to do the ceiling, the roof, the way I want to do it, without, you know, having potential issues, I'm going to have to pull all of this OSB. Now, it shouldn't be very, very hard to pull all of this OSB because, well, they're actually not really held on by much for strength nails. I actually, when I did it, I just used simple little brad nails, and of course the acoustical sealant does glue it on a bit. There might be the odd nail or screw in here from other things that I've hung up over the years, but there shouldn't be much resistance at all. What I'm wanting to do, I'm not sure if you guys are really going to be able to see this, nor are you going to be able to understand it, but if my stringer goes across like this, the roof, you got your walls sitting here, right? Your outer walls. What I want to do is I want to cut my stringers at the same angle as the roof. That the roof goes up here, right? So I want to cut my stringers pretty much to match the roof angle, but at the same time, to take the bow out of the roof, I'm gonna like drop them down, whatever it is, a little an inch and 3/4 or something. So in order to drop them down 1 3/4 inches, as you see by the OSB there, it's pretty much up within 3/8 or 1/2 inch of the ceiling. So that's why all this OSB pretty much has to come up, and when I go to put it up, it'll only be as high as the basically the bottom plate of the top plate of the roof, if you understood what I was saying there. Basically, as well as when I go to put it up, I'm gonna you know, stand the OSB up a little differently too, just to get better use of the sheeting, because when I did this, I had a lot of offcuts from the shortness of the sheets, because I don't have 8-foot walls in here, right? They're only whatever they are, well, 7-foot walls or something, right? So of course, with pulling the OSB, it'll give me complete access to this window now. I can patch it, put a complete piece of vapor barrier over it, and tuck tape it, right? Then that way it's not going to have any issues, right? As well as pulling the OSB would allow me to have easier access to run the electrical from that plug there around, putting one probably about where the window is, and another one right here, and then another one on this wall here, right? So I was going to put one right here, being I have it exposed, but you know, things tend to work itself out. You know, if you're laying stuff over top of other stuff, you sometimes have issues. So if you rip it down and start from bare bones, it sometimes works a little better. This OSB won't be thrown away, of course, because I still have the plans for the air compressor room, which is off here, which will use a lot of the small stuff anyways. As well as this wall here will use a lot of the small stuff anyways too. So and then of course behind all those cupboards I got way up there, whatever it would have been, well, yeah, it would have been probably winter of 2010 2011 there. You see that OSB there, I have whatever there is stacked in there for sheets. There looks like there's 10 or 15 sheets there. I bought, and that's the same OSB I actually used when I built the double door shed there. So it's been around for a bit. But just thought I'd give a little update here on my my plans and all that, and just to put something on record so I can go back and review it if I decide to change my plans for a third time. Still not 100% sold on the whole size of the tool room. I know I've put the wall where a stringer is, you know, so it makes it for easier, you know, building and all that. Here, let me just throw a little bit of light on you guys. But if you look right there, the dark one there, not the light one in the distance, but the dark one, that's another stringer, and it's whatever she is there, another 18 inches out. So I'm debating if I should tear off my 2x6er and move the wall 18 inches out, or if I should just make do with what I have where I have right now, because part of what's going to happen is if I happen to move this wall out 18 inches, I'll probably bring it, I don't know, somewhere probably in there. I'll have to pull this 8-foot OSB, and then I'll have all the insulation to deal with, just like I had, you know, in whatever it was, part 1 or something there, right, to deal with. And of course, having all my tools and everything here will be quite messy. That was why I did what I did back here, was because I was hoping to have this area here done with the paint and the cupboards, and you know, maybe some of the finishing like the doors and stuff still having to be done, move my tools in there, and then I can start making the mess out here, not have all that stuff to deal with. Pretty much I think I'm going to start by pulling the OSB, get that underway, and then of course patching the window, and then we can probably do the measurement for the stringers that go left to right, to get all that going there, if you understood what I was trying to say. But gonna get out of here, I guess, and you know, get going before I change my mind again. Well guys, the tool room now is basically completely demoed, with the exception of course of the window. all the OSB and everything is off the walls. All the pretty much everything that's not staying is off the walls and pretty much gone. The insulation, majority of it's going to stay up, of course. The plastic, I might end up having to re-plastic this one wall due to building issue in this corner. When I built it, I didn't put a nailing edge, of course. I just glued the plastic to the whatevers. But hey, man, 7 years later, 6 years later, you know, you learn some things. And when you get a chance to rebuild something, you know, you take your time, do it right, I suppose. But I think I'm going to plug in the old air compressor, dig out the saw, and start working on this window. You know, get it all framed in, sheeted and all that, then put the plastic over it, and then probably run a plug-in or two, and then kind of start working on the roof, I suppose. I'm not quite sure about starting the electrical yet until I can get a little further along in the project, because if I happen to move this wall, there's going to be electrical in this wall, of course. So when I go to move it, there might be a bit of issue there. So, but I am considering moving this wall. I just have to decide how I'm going to deal with the mess. I do have tarps, extra tarps and stuff, and if I were to pull the OSB off the wall, which has to come off anyway, pull the OSB off the walls, and then staple or whatever, fasten tarps up. Then when I pull the ceiling, pull the vapor barrier, all of the mess will kind of funnel down to the center of the room, and I'll have whatever 4 feet of insulation in the center of the room that I'll have to deal with, rather than having it all over my tools and, you know, surrounding areas. And then, of course, once I've moved this wall, I'll feel better about the plans and everything. Might end up wasting that one 2x6 unless I can get it off of the wall in one piece. Sometimes those air nails don't like to pull back out, but hey, you know, one 2x6 is a small price to pay, I suppose, for plan changing, I guess. That's part of my projects. They do evolve a little bit as time goes on. But I guess we'll get on with this window here and kind of see how she goes. Okay, guys, so I got a little bit of a check-in for you. Well, didn't quite get the direction I wanted to get done, but I was able to, as I said there, clean up the ceiling here. And I didn't get the window framed in and sheeted in and plasticed in, because I got thinking, and well, you remember in my intro video how I talked about putting this wall out to this crack, or the line, the seam, right? And instead I moved it back instead of putting it where I wanted to put it. Partly to do with the fact that that's just the way the sheeting fell, and it kind of worked out good when I did the first demo, and partly to do with I figured 7x8 would be 7x12 would be okay for a tool room, but then I added the air compressor in there, and then you take an account for the workbenches and the doors and all the access and all that, and it gets you get down to having pretty close to being a 4x4 area to swing a cat in, and that's getting pretty tight. So I went back with plan A, I guess you could call it. As you see there, I pulled the OSB off of this last, the second half, I guess. I left the vapor barrier up here for now, so I didn't have to deal with all the insulation. The insulation up here was pretty thin, of course, in this back half, 4 feet. But that works to my advantage at this time anyway. So of course, upon further inspection, if I'm wanting to put the wall along this seam here, of course, just like I did there for prep, I got to cut the vapor barrier back, put another 2x4 here to secure the wall to. However, on this one, of course, as you see there, this was the outer wall of the outer eaves of the garage at one time. So you can see the old paint, right? So I'll have to put another roof rafter or stringer going across, and then put my 2x6er there to give the strength. So part 5 will be an interesting part to the build again, of course. This here not being an original this one here being an original 2x4 of the build will probably stay. That one there, the white one, is one of the ones I put up. Now if I move the wall, I'm going to take that one down, but leaving of course the original one right there. But I'll probably throw a 2x6er on it to you know, double up to give it extra strength. And same with this one here, I'll put a 2x6er on it to double it up. Now one thing here, by moving this wall, it gives me a bit of an attic access that I can add into here too. Again, it's not going to give you much room in the attic, but you can get up there to install a vent in the future, or to run electrical or whatever. You know, the way I had it, I'm sure would have been okay. It just didn't sit well with me in the planning stages and stuff like that. Of course, you can see here, guys, the original construction was plywood and the addition is OSB, and that's the same on the walls as well as the roof, right? So you can see the difference in years and difference in construction and stuff. But I'm probably going to end it here, guys, kind of for this messed up part 4 of the garage renovation shop room video series. Of course, in part 5, we'll get back in here. Hopefully we can move this wall, re-stud up proper locations for it, and maybe go as far as actually getting that window done. And maybe we could start on framing in the air compressor room. But as always, thanks for watching Maxwell's World. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.